Hey, it's Ice Age TV Day, and what day is today? What are we driving today, right? And if anybody's following my video, you'll be like, yeah, I know what you're driving. You're driving that new F-150 Lightning. But come on, why wouldn't I be driving the GT350 or GT500? Or the Bronco? Or the other Bronco? Or the Ranger? Or the Avalon? Or the F450? Or the other Mustang? Or the other Mustang Mach-E? Or the Toyota Fronter? Why? Come on. It's all about the Lightning Day, and I want to ride around my Lightning. But here's the thing. I've finally charged her all up. So what is the distance officially of this vehicle on mileage? It's saying 325 mile range. So I think that's pretty accurate in warmer temperatures, being at 75 degrees. So what are today's conversations on the F-150 Lightning Adventures? What are we going to talk about today, right? In the Ford.
Range, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, goodness. Kid's already going, isn't she? So, park brake, transmission not in park. What is going on here? Driver door. Duh. Jeez. Talk about bossy. Jesus Christ.
Cars back then would have just let you fall out.
Yeah. So what is today's theme? Because I've already done a lot of talking about that F-150 Lightning and blah, like the kid said, blah, blah, blah. So what do we talk about today? What do you think? All right. Yeah. So today, I think the topic is going to be electricity and oil, gas and oil. I mean, kind of, yeah. What does that all mean, right? Well, I'm kind of referring to more or less the comparisons of electric vehicles to gas vehicles, which we hear this all the time. You know, people comparing, the electricity. And yesterday, I was really on the page talking about the hate electric vehicle. It just seems to be a lot of hate out there, and I'm not going to go through all that again. What I'm going to talk about today is let's just kind of evaluate where we are with the advance in technology and that's this world we live on. We're advancing, hopefully, for the better, not the worse, even though sometimes, I definitely question that. But, I got to think to myself yesterday, I've been in the oil industry for my whole career. I mean, I'm not lying. In high school, I worked at gas stations. Out of high school, I worked in the automotive parts industry, which is associated with cars that need fuel to drive around. And then I actually worked in the oil industry for 8 years. And then I evolved out of that into other businesses associated with the petroleum industry. So when I say I work in the oil industry, I don't own like gas stations. I don't own like oil companies. I actually just do service work and I'm in that industry to support it. So I got to thinking last night to myself, there's a lot of criticism on an electric vehicle, and all you hear about on the negative side is the lithium mining process, how much energy we use to extract lithium, and then over in like Africa and other parts of the world that you're abusing child labor laws to extract lithium. I mean, you read a lot of stuff on the internet, and what do you believe, right? That's the challenge more than ever, is whose content, who's talking about it, and what's their agenda to get the message across to you. And that's the challenge. It's always an agenda behind the message. So when you look at your electric vehicle, you just hear the constant, the berating of, hey, there's not enough electrical grid system, you're kidding yourself, you're doing harm to Mother Nature, blah, blah, blah. We know, if you're kind of abreast to the negative side of electric vehicles, you kind of know the language I'm speaking of without going into every single, detail. And I think to myself, yeah, that's true, But at the same time, to play the devil's advocate for the industry I'm in, that some people think that buying an electric vehicle is supporting the demise of the oil industry. Well, I'm sorry, it doesn't happen overnight. Change is upon us, but the oil industry is not going to disappear 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I think it'll still be around 20 years from now, plus, it's just, there'll be different alternatives to transportation, a lot of things, a lot of variables, just too much information on that aspect of that. So, I've been playing the devil's advocate in the oil industry. Here I am, an individual that worked in the industry where I used to actually handle petroleum products. So, what I did, I did multi positions in the oil industry, but I started out as a truck driver. And I used to deliver fuel, and I can't emphasize enough that me driving around a fuel truck all day handling this petroleum, I reeked of fuel when I got it home. Why? Well, it's because this stuff, did I wear gloves? Yeah, but sometimes there's just so many variables to that time era of handling petroleum products. That stuff, you'd make a spill, get on your pants, your shoes, your shirt. Every now and then you may get it in your face. I mean, there's a lot of things that go when you're doing these pumper trucks to fill up stuff. There's a lot more to that than most people understand until you do it. And so for me, I just reeked of diesel fuel because that was the main product I was transporting and delivering. And sure, I did some gas as well, but mainly heating oil and diesel. So I just reeked of that oil all the time. All my clothes would be, just, reeked.
It's like a cologne.
Yeah. So the, for me, what are the consequences for my doing that? As I get older, am I going to have cancer from this? I mean, I'm not trying to be, I'm not making light of this. I'm saying for me as an individual that was in that industry from actually 85 to 92, so it was 7 years to be exact. And, what are my long-term impacts to my health of breathing the fumes? Because I did that. I didn't drive a truck full-time for 7 years, but I drove the truck on a regular basis, made deliveries, and I evolved into other positions, and I had to fill in for drivers that didn't show up. So I was exposed to a lot of those fumes in that petroleum-based product for many years, and we know that's cancerous potentials. So, talking about the oil industry, if you look at the Exxon Valdez and the Gulf BP oil spill, I mean, I could sit here all day just rattling off all the things of destruction of oil has done to mankind has done to this world by drilling oil. I mean, talk about fracking. What are the consequences for fracking? I mean, they banned and outlaw in many states because of just the total, infrastructure of the ground destruction. I mean, so once again, I could go on and on and on talking about all the negative consequences to oil and the hardships it's put on many things, pollution. If you look at then you look at cars, you ever followed an older car or a diesel truck where it's just smoking in front of you and you just smell that stuff or you become nauseous? So, what I'm trying to radiate here is, yes, electric vehicle has negative consequences. Gasoline engines have negative consequences. And I think it's very foolish for the Ice Age people that start taking this, position that, oh man, EV vehicles will destroy the world. Really? Well, what has oil done? I mean, and so the real message here on that is when mankind tries to take something and create something, it's the cause and effect. You're never going to get away from that, and that's the physical world we live in is cause and effect. You're creating something. Well, you create something, usually something else is sacrificed to create it. So, once again, I'm just kind of trying to share my own, ideas and views because, more than ever, I'm posting my videos in a forum, and it's just unbelievable how many people in the forum are just, like, oh my God, the world's coming to an end type of posting from building electric vehicles. And you have to remember that there's always an agenda. I mean, so should the oil industry be concerned? Well, it's very apparent they are, because you can see what's going on. The oil executives were called to the White House yesterday because of what people's perception is. The oil industry is abusing the situation that's going on in the world right now, that they're trying to make it look like the markets are going to be challenged. You get oil, and keep in mind, the CEOs of these companies aren't necessarily setting the prices. It's the stock market. To me, it's the greedy ass individuals in the stock market. And hey, everybody, does everyone remember the 8,000 Dow back in 2009-10 when the country came to a crashing halt, and it got up to close to 40,000 Dow? I mean, if you were an investor invested in the markets back in 2010, 11, 12, you're richer than rich, okay? So the stock market makes a lot of people a lot of money that don't have to actually work. They just have money, and you invested into Amazon, if you would invest into Apple, if you would have invested into Tesla, I can just go through the hot stocks that are the value. If you'd have bought them 20 years ago, you're a multi-millionaire just off those stocks. Well, okay, that's called the stock market. People's perceptions of what to be. We all know that. So why has oil been as high as 120? And for the record, now it's down like 104. And for the record, I was telling everybody 3 months ago, I think the $3 gas will be back eventually. It'll take some time. It's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. But, so the oil companies are being drilled downtown. While there's open arms on the other end for all the windmill guys showing up to be, told what to say. I don't know if you know that whole conversation. But anyways, so for the oil companies, their challenge right now is their investors are not feeling good about a future investment in the oil industry. And well, why? It's the governing powers are wanting to force the change of the solar and the wind power and electric vehicles, and the list goes on and on. And I get that how the electric infrastructure, if everybody had an electric vehicle tomorrow, why do people think everybody's having an electric vehicle tomorrow? It just cracks me up. It wouldn't work, right, I get all that. So, even to point, a nice comment on my video from the other day on these type of conversations, one of the watchers posted that actually 2.1 or 2 million electric vehicles were sold in last year. So, actually, the sales of EV vehicles is actually, better than I thought, So, over the next 2 to 5 years, it is the 3 million vehicles per year go to 4 or 5 million. Yeah, I'm sure it will. It's a growing trend that's not going to stop. Even with all the negativity, all the hate on one side is, against it. But, you have to step back and say to yourself, are there that many stupid investors that are investing into the infrastructure of the electric future? I mean, I don't think there is. I think they kind of understand how this starts to play out long term. Meanwhile, the oil industry is in a challenge because more than ever, they don't have the open arms of drill oil anywhere. And I understand it's an agenda. It's governing bodies trying to accomplish something or forcing things. But does that last forever? You have a change of administration. It can change instantly where every policy that was shut down will be opened back up. And then the oil companies are pumping more oil than ever, but are they actually happy about that? I mean, is an oil executive happy with $40 barrel oil that's barely paying the bills to do that? No, they're not happy. They need the $80, $100 barrel oil in today's world to make it a profitable investment. So, once again, as I'm here talking about my electric F-150 Lightning, and as more electric vehicles are showing up, I think a lot more people are voicing the unhappiness of that because I think they're misinformed. And they may be like, what do you mean misinformed? I think they're kind of getting radical on thinking that everything in electric vehicles associated was all negative to create it, but yet building in a gas engine car, everything's beautiful. You don't mine materials from Mother Nature to create, a vehicle. You don't have to go and, pull oil. And I mean, the whole point is both products, electric and oil, have consequences. Now, some of you may say, but the electric has bigger consequences. All right, well, maybe it does. I don't know. I'm not here supporting either or, meaning I'm not here to say, oil industry is the best thing in the world for mankind, or, electric vehicles are the best thing for mankind. I'm just trying to radiate that to get fixated on electric vehicles are going to ruin Mother Nature, and we're going to have all these major issues in the future. I just think, can you imagine this conversation 100 years ago? When if you owned a horse and buggy operation and your business revolved around the horse and buggy operation and that was the main way of transportation, and a person like me shows up with a gasoline vehicle, I can guarantee you the conversation was, oh my God, that thing smells. That exhaust is making me nauseous. Oh my gosh, we're going to get gas. Hey, this thing has a little 5-gallon tank in it. How far are you driving to that? There's no gas stations around. I mean, I promise you 100 years ago, what was the challenge? You didn't have infrastructure to do that. You having fun yet on the Ice Age TV conversations? Are people going to start commenting you need to change the channel name to EV Age? Hey, follow me along. Hey, whoever does this with their front hood, have you ever been driving down the road and they'll do this? Where you actually open your front hood like this? Is that cool or what? The frunk! Here's another conversation that somebody's telling me that this grabber general tire is specifically designed for this electric vehicle, and these things are very, very expensive. Now, I don't know anything about that. I've not done any research on it. So one person's claiming I'm going to spend $2,000 to replace these tires, and they only go 15,000 miles. You only get 15,000 miles of these tires. I mean, I don't know. I mean, just so much hate. Incredible. All right. Now what are we going to do, So think about this. As I talk about the oil industry and, things that are so different from these electric vehicles to these gas and diesel. So get this. I bought that Ford F-450 over there used, and I haven't shared much information on what's going on in these car dealerships. I sincerely believe that they're in challenging times. I mean, the Ford side, for sure. I mean, I think all manufacturers are, because they can't get product. I mean, I can just tell you from being at that Coons Baltimore Ford dealership here the other day that, it was a Tuesday, so it's not like huge traffic. They had a great Monday. But, I think the dealerships are doing okay, but at the same time, they don't have the same foot traffic because they don't have the same new car volume to push out the door. But what's really interesting, so when I bought that diesel truck, it was a $40 cap. Look at that. What's that all about? It was a $40 cap on them putting diesel fuel in that diesel truck. Now, my good old 450 four-door dually I had, that thing had like a 42-gallon or 44-gallon tank. I would think this two-door F-450 truck probably has more like a 32 to 38-gallon tank. But we'll just take a 30-gallon fill-up. So we'll just say that hey, when I bought that truck, it was basically about empty. I mean,
it's a beautiful day.
Who doesn't?
I'm just saying.
So who doesn't, take their car to go trade it in and make sure the fuel's just about empty, right? Yeah, that goes on a lot. People want to get that last cent. But here's the point. So let's just say that truck was borderline empty. So they had to put 30 gallons of diesel in, and across the street it was like $6.20 a gallon. So that's $180.
Oh my gosh.
Right? So instead, think about this. They give us $40 worth. Well, 6 times 7 is $42. So they basically gave us over 6 gallons of diesel fuel for us to drive that truck home. My truck probably gets like 15 miles a gallon. So that's 90 miles. Well, we burned up 50 of that just driving it back home. So, okay. And the reason I'm talking about this right now is because I noticed that they didn't change the oil in this diesel truck. It's at 7% life left in it. And okay, so yeah, I should drive it back there and ask them to change the oil, because it should have been checked in and checked over. Now, all right, instead, I'm more intrigued here to go to AutoZone, and I want to find out how many quarts of oil that vehicle needs.
It takes 13.
Yes, my daughter's saying 13 quarts. Well, how much is 1 quart of diesel oil? So let's go in here to AutoZone. And, oh, and by the way, in my electric truck here, they didn't have to get a gas ticket. Yeah, this truck here, it was actually charged like 3/4 of the way. So, yeah, why didn't they charge all the way up, right? You could talk about that. We could. Now, here's the thing. My daughter is really excited about changing the oil in that truck. Do you want to learn how to change the oil in that truck?
Yeah.
So my daughter's like, so part of me is like, hey, the kid wants to learn how to change oil in a truck. And she thinks I'm going to get run over by this guy in the car right here. So let's go into AutoZone and let's see how expensive this is going to be today. Where is everybody, right?
Right there.
All right. So, yes, my daughter's right. 13 quarts, 5W40. Now, the scary part is how much is that? I buy gallon jugs, I guess. So I'll need three of those in 1 quart, right?
And diesel oil.
Right.
So your oil's going to actually be
Do you have any?
out of stock.
You don't even have any diesel oil.
No diesel oil.
You got to be kidding me.
I don't joke, sir. I'm
Okay.
a very serious guy. I only joke on the weekends, and it's not there yet.
Oh my God.
No, that's actually an oil we've had trouble getting right now.
Really? So
Yeah,
nothing.
It's just sold out everywhere.
So what's your? I mean, I hate to go to Advanced Auto Parts. So what's your
I'd
guess?
send you to Walmart over Advance.
Oh really? Mm-hmm. You think Walmart have it?
Should.
Okay.
They
Well, I can
usually-
go there.
They usually have a good hidden supply of oil.
So, but how much is it? $32 a
That's for-
gallon.
Yes, a gallon.
So we need 3 of those. That's 90. I mean, this is a $120 day. So what about the filter?
Well, you can get 12 quarts.
Oh, you
no,
can?
10 quarts.
Oh yeah,
75.
Yeah. Okay, so that's not bad. All right. So you suggest Walmart?
Yeah.
You think they'll probably have it over there?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do that.
Nobody knows about Walmart.
All right. Well, AutoZone here has no oil. Got the kid a little bracket. Look at that oil filter. And they're saying go to Walmart. You don't want me to go to Advanced Auto Parts. Hey, my truck. Come on, look at that here. So let's do that. All right. All right, the kid's excited about the oil filter. You put the oil around the ring. Some people will fill up the oil filter with oil so that it just doesn't, the engine gets immediate oil into that sump pump to pump it through the motor. So, all right, to Walmart we go. But there you go. So that was what, $12, and then the
it was
Walmart.
32, but you got a $20 discount, so it was 16.
Yeah, but that was including your bracket. But I'm just talking about in general.
Oh,
Say in general, we're getting ready to spend probably $100 on oil. Between oil and oil filter, my guess is this is $120
that guy is a big bully.
day. And, that's just to buy oil, right? So that's the other, here's another thing. So electric vehicle, what's the maintenance, what's the maintenance cost? I mean, that's a whole other ball game. I mean, what are car dealers in the future going to do? I mean, these guys crack me up when they want to sell you a service maintenance agreement. I'm like, okay, so they're going to change the windshield washer fluid or top the windshield washer fluid off and rotate the tires?
You're ready to go.
But actually, they claim that you get coverage for the brakes. But I'm thinking, yeah, but the wheel motors. The wheel motors are your brakes. So, once again, if the electric vehicle is the most dominant product going to a car dealership, yeah, is that what Jim Farley, is the CEO of Ford's trying to accomplish, is getting rid of all these dealers? That he sees the future of these dealerships just sucking wind because they're not going to have the service on vehicles? Because we all know that the service end is usually the big money maker to make a automotive operation survive. Car sales are usually the ticket for the big profits, but for stability and to pay the bills, usually the service division has to do that. That's usually what they claim, at least. So is Jim Farley saying, oh yeah, I see over the next 10, 15 years plus how these car dealerships are going to be sucking wind because they're not going to have the service work that they used to have on cars. So there's a whole other, I said 10 years ago that I think 1 out of 3 gas stations will be closing. I said 10 years ago. I'm not lying. Here we go. So, that was my prediction that, that because of change, meaning much more efficient vehicles, number one. I mean, forget the electric vehicle. We know that a lot of gas vehicles now are hitting that 30 mile per gallon, 40 mile per gallon. The hybrids, they can hit 40, maybe some 50, so for the gas station industry that have bays, has anybody noticed how many bays are no longer at gas stations and it's a C-store where the only way they make it is by selling, bottled water and all this other stuff? And we get this guy. This guy here is it's just incredible. We'll use the truck's energy to get up the road here as we try to get all the way over, which people don't let you do, and we'll make it all happen. Yeah, the diesel guy, I'd like to run him. I'd love to run that guy. And keep in mind, that their truck's fast, so. But I just like to see. That's what it's all about to me. Let's see what happens. Hey, if he smokes me, I'll be like, that's awesome. It's good for me. I'll be like, good. Keep that petroleum-based product going, man. It's not the hate of the petroleum-based vehicles. I mean, oh my God. How many vehicles do I have that are ICE? Yeah, everybody knows. All right, on to Walmart. Part of me says, well, tonight we just may do the drag race checkout, but the weather's kind of not the greatest up here right now. We got a lot of overcast, so it may be raining this evening. I'm not sure about that, but anyways, part of me says I should take not only the F450 truck for the kid to go do a little racing, but I should take this F-150 Lightning and see how that does, right? Oh, it would get a lot of attention.
So embarrassing.
The kids say it's so embarrassing. Can you believe this stuff? Yeah, it's so funny. Some people think my daughter is now some electric lover.
All right, first off, those people talking don't even know my name. Like, for real.
Wow, look at this. We haven't been over this Walmart area.
What the heck?
This is a whole another area.
What happened?
It built up all these new stores.
What
Chipotle,
the heck?
Starbucks. Wow. Yeah, so we're driving by and oh wow.
What the heck?
Look at that. Another new service station right there. All right, let's go to the auto center and see what they say. Yeah, what's your guess? The auto parts guy does no oil. And he thinks that Advanced Auto Parts has no oil. So he's saying go here to Walmart. He's very confident they have oil. Let's find out. Well, goose egg. The 5W40 Rotella is not to be found here, nor the Mobile One. Incredible, right? Probably would have more success ordering this online. If you know what I mean.
Why the heck aren't they going?
Lady wanted me to go out, that's fine. Anyway, so now we show our Napa Auto Parts.
Where is that?
Other side of town.
Okay.
All right, so good Lord, you can't find this stuff. 5W40s diesel oil is like non-existent at this time. And why? Apparently, it's because the diesel additive that they put in that motor oil, I guess it's such high sulfur content or whatever it may be for the engine newbies guys out there or have the knowledge. I'm sure they'll tell me what to say. But anyways, I just found 13 quarts. And even went to Amazon, and even they don't have it. So, I mean, oh my gosh. Oh, what a weird world we're living in, aren't we? We are. All right, follow me along. This is one of those days. Is it going to rain later? I mean, I got to cut the damn grass. Yeah, it doesn't end, man. But yeah, so to go to the Mason-Dixon tonight, check that operation out. Guess that's a possibility. I wish they had daytime Friday practice, but they don't. I mean, that's all about 6 o'clock on for racing. So anybody go up there and actually practice, yeah, right. Yeah, you practice, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of people there, be my guess, for the greenies that show up, right? The newbies. All right, here we are at Napa Auto Parts, and boy, talk about dead. Where is everybody, right? I mean, there's nobody here. Interesting, right? This reminds me of when I got going back in 1982. This is the type of parts store I worked at. Just a good old boys parts store. And let's go check it out. Probably need a big ass freaking container to catch all the damn oil. Oh. The kid has just acknowledged me. She now knows why the gas caps for cars are on the right hand side. Because they.
It's the driver's side.
Right. That's when you buy European cars. A lot of times you're like, what the heck? I gotta go to the other side of my car to get gas. All right, so Napa Auto Parts here in Leesburg took care of us. And yeah, it is that additive. So it's that oil additive to the oil that separates it from regular gas oil to help fight that sulfur buildup in your engine. So hopefully this will resolve it. But maybe now the dealership didn't change the oil because of what I'm talking about. Maybe they didn't have any oil. I mean, I'd have a hard time believing a full-blown Ford dealership wouldn't have this, but yeah, okay, you never know.
Mom would be like that.
Hey, what are we doing now?
I'm graduating.
This is your big graduation ceremony?
Here's my ceremony.
There she is calling so-and-so to come up to get your graduation, your diploma, certificate, and your cap and gown. We didn't go to the graduation. We were out of town. Down there at the NHRA. I mean, what's more important, everybody? NHRA Top Fuel Drag Race Center. And get your diploma. We know that answer. All right, the kid did the picture in front of the school here to be officially graduated from her high school. But like I said, it was all about the NHRA Bristol races. How about that, huh? Yeah.
This looks ugly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's funny.
Thanks a lot.
I was wondering if you ever pulled it off.
Yeah, so my 2 extra large stickers on the seat all day. And she's making fun how I didn't capture that being on my shirt all day.
It was on the back, too.
Oh, she just liked to watch. Harassment. Fun at your expense. All right, well, this is the last time I'll be driving to school because when my daughter was a freshman, sophomore, in junior year, I drove here to pick her up. So she rode the bus to school in the morning, and sometimes she rode it in the afternoon. If I was in the area, I would pick her up. So the cars would start lining up here, and I would hang out here waiting for my daughter to get out of school. So, wow.
Up this thing, like
the days of picking the kid up from school are done. And then this past year, she drove to school because she had her own license.
Don't get all sentimental about it. Not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on you officially getting your diploma.
Thank you.
How
I
about
deserve
that?
my hard work and listening to Mom complain about my grades for 15 years.
15 years.
I mean, that's what you said.
Oh my
at
gosh.
church.
15 years.
You're so funny. At church. At church. The guy, Dad's like, yeah, I'm really glad she graduated now. Or whatever. Because, anywho, we were talking to this guy at church. And he goes, yeah, she finally is over with 18 years of school.
Is that how long it seemed? Agony and pain?
18 years, so 15.
Yeah, I was thinking of her
not that bad.
age. That's what that's all about. I was thinking
But
she's
it was
18.
so funny because it was so off by 6 grades.
There you go. But if you go to college for 6 years, what do you get? 18.
We're talking about now, not in the future.
Yeah. And she, her last
Dad, when
year.
we go home, turn off the video.
Well, yeah,
Turn off the video really
Man.
quick. Turn it off.
Yeah, so what did my kid take for her last year of high school academies?
All right.
Environmental science. Hey. You know, but that to
Don't
me, that
tell
was
people
that was horticulture for me back then.
Don't tell people
You know,
that.
it's such a broad spectrum of what you
Dad,
do in
I
life.
don't want people to know.
Oh my gosh.
They're gonna think I'm crazy. I'm not. I just wanted to know how to grow some veggies.
Uh-huh. Tell you know, if you learn how to grow cabanas.
What is that?
What is what? It's a Camaro.
Why does it look like?
If you learn how to grow weed, that's a huge business these days, right? Yeah, we'll turn my property into the weed farm. How about that, right? Yeah, it's pretty crazy with that industry. You can put that stuff in drinks, and I know it's medical. And yeah, so people are like, oh my gosh, the F-150 Lightning purchase, now it's all over the place. The guy's telling us about oil. He's telling us about electric batteries. I mean, good Lord. Now we're talking about the kids' graduation.
I want to see the picture. Can you hurry up, dude? This has nothing to do with the video. Dad.
Just see a picture of herself. Remember the selfies? Selfie. Don't take a picture of me. Don't take a picture of me. Don't do that. But I'll post a gazillion pictures on TikTok.
See my graduation. So
all right.
I just want to say, I asked Dad to make stir fry for lunch, and he said no.
So we're back to Costco. Why are we doing that? Do I need gas today? So let's just say that I was coming to Costco today, which, you know, I do this on a regular basis. I do still have gas vehicles. So, yeah, so not too crowded. You know, interesting. Fridays, usually this thing's packed.
Well, it's packed already.
Are people pulling back when you spend $5 for fuel? Probably.
No, because people don't care that much.
So, actually, I'm back here to get the rest of my meds for my chiggers issues. Oh, boy. $4.85, $5.29, but you're going to start seeing that low $4 gas here for long. That barrel of oil. I think the stock market guys are getting beat up. You know, I think that's where it's all going.
Watch out. He's
Watch out.
The street.
Watch out. Look out. Watch out. Get out of the way. Move it. Let's see. Turner Racing's truck isn't the greatest because of these. I don't know. It's a truck, right?
My dually train's better.
I don't know, but I'm concerned about this. I don't think I'll make it a chip in my way. All right, out of Costco, got my hot dog for $1.99 or $69 a drink. Look at Costco here. This gas station added another pumper station because this place used to be packed. For Friday, for this gas station to be not that as packed, yeah, what's going on, right? We know what's going on. People are pulling back. Yeah, so I have my Pepsi here, and I offered to buy one for my kid back in Costco, and now she's drinking mine. How does that work?
I had a sip.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I bought a milkshake the other day. Here we go. Here it goes.
I got this chicken bacon. It's really good.
Stuffing her face over there. You a little hungry, are you? Isn't that big meal breakfast Daddy make you? Yeah, it's my big breakfast I make for each morning. Like 6 eggs, bacon, biscuits, gravy.
You don't do that.
Yeah, I make her scrambled eggs and bacon and waffles.
Toast.
And toast. She really likes that, but you know, it's already 1:30 basically. I just called my Coonstone Ford dealer to see if my bed rug and my tonneau cover came in, and the tonneau cover is in, but the bed rug is not. And I'd rather really put the bed rug in first.
We have to wait till we get them both together because we don't want to waste electricity going the way down there one time.
So I'd rather put the bed rug in than the tonneau cover. I just think it'd be easier to install it that way. But I don't think the bed rug's coming until Monday, so whatever. That'll be next week's project. But Jesus Christ, we'll be leaving the town again next week, so the clock is ticking.
Whew.
It's
No!
a little hot over there, kid, huh? There she goes. Yeah, I tell you.
Perfect temperature.
Yeah, so we're heading back in now. I was kind of hoping to do a video showing me going down and getting my cool stuff. So, plus do we video the kid changing oil in that F450? Yeah.
Whoa!
Whoa. Like a horse. Whoa.
It does work. What?
This air conditioning's wicked cool in this truck.
It's
It'll freeze your butt out.
It's perfect.
Using the frunk, that front to Costco, got some more goodies. That frunk is pretty cool. I gotta tell you, that's a really nice option.
It's very convenient.
You know, so daughters asked me a question. When you're at Costco, believe it or not, there was a lady just in front of me. It's the energy, right? The car gods. What energy, right? What energy am I emitting? Electrified energy, right? Yeah. Okay, so this lady was in front of us.
Bad breath energy.
Yeah, like her breath smells any better than mine. But hey, now we're getting really personal, right? So, yeah, so as we're standing in line for a prescription Fridays at Costco to the pharmacy thing, I avoid that like a plague because everybody shows up on Friday to go to the pharmacy. But the prescription I need for my sugar boogers, the sugar diggers in your skin, make you scratch all day long. I couldn't get the proper medication yesterday.
With 83
and
degree weather.
So, because yesterday I froze my ass off, and today I've dressed over too warm now. But anyway, so we're standing in line to get my prescription filled, and there's this lady in front of us. She just happens to start, because I went up and the place is packed. So I literally walked around to the cashier register to see me cashier.
With his phone in his hand, acting all bossy, like he's about to go off on the people, and goes, "Is there only one cashier?" Then once back and goes, "No, there's two."
Yeah, because there's a really, we were like 7-8 deep, and it wasn't moving. And I'm thinking, hell, get another cashier up here. Somebody needs to get on the ball. But anyways, so a lady there out of the blue just says, "Yeah, I took these electric vehicles." I don't even know what started. What'd she say?
You started saying your forum is
No,
being rude
no.
about you.
No.
Yeah, Dad, that's what started it. I was right there
She brought up the electric vehicles.
No, it did not.
Okay, so let's hear how the story started.
This is a video for you just to post within itself. Anywho, we were standing there in line and Dad comes back and I asked Dad, what did your forum friends say? And Dad goes, oh, they're just making fun of me because I bought this EV vehicle. And then the lady goes, oh, the lady was laughing because she thought you were like making fun of the EV vehicle or something. It started the conversation.
Yeah, so this lady's like, why do people get electric vehicles? And I said, well, for the record, I now have 3 of them. She kind of looked at me like, what? I said, well, I'm out on the page in life and I'm going to save the world. I'm on the page in life. I want to drive something different, experience the technology. But anyways, so, you know, once again, here's a person and she doesn't like electric vehicles. She thinks it's a total joke. And I mean, and it's just incredible how I think that's what I was saying, the love and hate. And as these electric vehicles do become more available and they start showing up roads, I mean, is it going to get violent? I mean, are people start wanting people off the road in their electric vehicle? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just think it's so disappointing that the media machine has so divided this country. It's so much misinformation. So I took the time to explain to her.
Say literally, like back in 2020, you were kind of making fun. Like we both were making fun of people with their electric vehicle and their little Priuses.
Well, sure, that's always been a running joke. I mean, there's nothing new about that. I own a Prius. I mean, for the record, 10 years ago, I bought a Prius. You know, so yeah, there's always been a running joke about your vehicles, but more so than ever, the media machine is trying to convince everybody you need to buy an electric vehicle. Who'd do that? yeah, hypocrite. It's changed the channel name to Hypocrite Channel. So the point is, I took the time to explain to the lady, it's like, yeah, electric vehicles aren't going to save you a ton of money. The media is trying to maybe portray that. And yeah, the electric grid system is going to be, you know, strained. Yeah, whatever. And yeah, my coal-fired electrical plant's going to charge my vehicle. I mean, I get all that stuff, but I didn't buy this electric vehicle to save the world. I didn't do it. I bought the electric vehicle because it has incredible, cool technology. And they're really fun. These are really fun vehicles. I cannot emphasize enough that if this F-150 Lightning truck drove like a bucket of bolts or a bucket of batteries, yeah, that'll be the new saying. A bucket of batteries. yeah, that's the new saying. A bucket of, hey, buddy, you're driving a bucket of batteries, which, yeah, you just have a bunch of D-cell batteries, a gazillion of them, underneath this truck right now. And somebody like, yeah, one part getting ready to explode any moment and catch the truck on fire. Remember the Ford Pinto stories? Or what was now Ralph Nader's, the GM, I can't think of that damn car that General Motors got sued for by Ralph Nader. You know Ralph Nader, he was attack all the corporate business back in the 60s and 70s. And man, what was the name of that damn GM? Corvair. I think it was the Corvair. And so, yeah, we can go through the list of cars that have gas tanks in them that have exploded and blown up. You know, but yeah, you hear all the stories. Oh my God, electric charging car in the guy's garage. It caught the whole house on fire. Yeah, I know. It's cause and effect, cause and effect. But anyway, so I got this lady at Costco.
You are completely off the topic.
Bucket of batteries. I like it. I like that new saying. But that's what I was saying is, if this F-150 truck.
You never finished the convo with the lady.
Well, there isn't much more to say. I just told you. I just gave her information, and I was just radiating that and I told her that. I said, if it wasn't for these vehicles being so much fun, I wouldn't own them. I mean, if I had to sacrifice driving a piece of crap electric vehicle that gave me no enthusiasm or excitement in my vehicle, that isn't who I am. I'm not going to be driving on the road in some piece of crap electric vehicle that, I'm saving from buying gasoline and I'm going to save the world. So I'll drive this little contraption that's really a bucket of batteries. And, you know, no. So that's what I'm trying to convey is these are fun electric vehicles. And if they weren't, I wouldn't own them. I would point blank tell you they're junk. I don't have a problem doing that. I can buy other toys, you know. So, yeah, today's conversation's been the hate of the oil, the hate of electricity. Because you'll get the radical green individual, those that go off about talking about how the oil has destroyed fish life and how it's killed and ruined and poisoned and contaminated waterways, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Yeah, I get it, you know, but now more than ever, electric vehicle conversations are, you know, if you look at any Auto Week magazine, Motor Trend, Car and Driver, you know, there's tons of information about electric vehicles. That's the fixation. All right, we're getting back in town here. Why is my barn open? Who the hell knows? All right, let's see what else we're gonna do. What's the next project, right? I tell the kid to get out and get the mail, and it turns into the stretching exercise. She like takes like 5 minutes.
It's thunder.
Oh, there she goes. Yeah. She's stuffing her face while she's getting the mail. There's a package in front of the gate, too. Hey, I got a new tag. I got a tag here. And guess what that personalized tag says? Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Takes forever. Well, what a day. Didn't get the oil change with the big truck. But look here, your garage can look like mine. Charging. You know, I'll tell you what. It's a project staying on top of these cars being charged if you drive the miles that I drive. I mean, I'm driving 150, 200-mile days. And my wife, when she drives 100-mile a day. So, you know, kind of keeping these vehicles charged up. I'm telling you what. One night I forgot to plug them in. Look at all the bird poop. Birds are crap on my cars. I've got bird issues never ending at this property. It's a pain in the ass. But anyways, whole point is you really have to be attuned to plugging these things in. But, you know, for the person that drives 25 miles a day, yeah, whoop-de-doo-dah. But for me, it's literally every day, you know, if I'm driving these things. Right now I've got one of my employees driving this because when he drives his vehicle, I have to reimburse him 62.5 cents a mile. It was 58.5 cents a mile, but due to the higher gas prices, now it's 62.5 cents a mile. And actually, he just loves driving this vehicle. And, you know, I'm a car enthusiast, motorhead, and I've always been very generous to let people kind of drive my vehicles. Not anybody, but, you know, my family and friend, work, or whatever. And so for me right now, you know, my business, conservative number, I'm doing 700 to 1,000 miles a week. You know, reimbursement to an individual, that now is like anywhere from $500 to $600. All right, times 4 weeks. Okay, I'm not talking about gas. I'm talking about how the IRS gives you. All right, the day's wrapping up, and never got to my Ford F450 oil change the kid. We didn't go to the track. Just too much stuff going on. I mean, people think that I've got it, you know, everybody else thinks somebody else has it easier. Yeah. No, it's not the case. There's too much going on. And when you have to travel to see family, to visit, that's a whole other freaking project. And as my parents get older, my wife's mother is now a widow. I mean, it just doesn't end. Everybody gets married and has kids get all this conversation. So here's what I'm talking about right now. These electric vehicles, if you don't stay on top of them, you lose track of recharging them. You may sound stupid, but here's the thing. I'm driving, that vehicle over there goes 150 to 200 miles every day, that blue car over there. This white car is my wife's for the most part, but I drive it as well. And she'll go 100 miles and she drives to work. She used to drive 5 days a week, now she drives 2 days a week. But here go the dogs. Doesn't end, right? So my neighbor calls the dogs to harass them up the way. Yeah, anyways, So what am I getting to? I'm getting to a point here where I'm trying to explain to you that you really have to stay on top. Remember to charge your car. You know, we're also programmed to get up in the morning, go to the gas station, and if you're doing serious miles like me, you're plugging these things in every night. Because if you have a 225 mile range and you go 150, 175 miles, the next day it won't work. So just kind of sharing with you how now to have two charging stations here. That's a big plus. Yeah, now I get 11 cents per kilowatt. Got two of those, right? So 22 cents going out the door. So yeah, what's cheap? I mean, where's this free society developing into? I mean, to me, it's pretty sickening that we're in a state in this country. It's free. Everything needs to be cheap. I just don't get it. But everyone wants to make fat salaries, right? Everyone wants their house to be worth millions of dollars, right? But when it comes to your car, screw that. Comes to buying gas, screw that. Comes to charging your car, screw that, right? Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how we're evolving, I guess. Oh, the media, the worst. So anyways, just sharing with you that, you know, when you have electric vehicles here, like I do, it is a daily project to plug them in and charge them. And yeah, I'd love to have the supercharger stations, but here's the problem. I do not have enough power. So here's the dilemma. The frickin' electric company that came out 2 months ago, it was supposed to trench in from that way out there, way out there where that telephone pole is, all the way back here to the corner of my barn to bring in two phases. I'm gonna go 400 amp. I'm just gonna do 200 amp service just so I have it for the future. But they're not responding. And on top of that, they're not even telling me how much they're gonna charge me, which it ain't gonna be cheap. And they're saying they'll just back bill it. You know, they're just telling me they're gonna back bill me for the work to be done on my electric bill for like 5 years. You know, so, you know, for whatever reason, there's a lot of people that are just kind of getting a little ramped up, I think, about this electric revolution. I get it. And what I'm trying to promote to people is, yeah, these electric vehicles are really cool. I mean, I really do like them. But if it comes down to you, or me, I should say, trying to convince you that this is a wise purchase to save money, it's totally false. I mean, do you really think Tesla people that spent $100,000 in those cars were out to save money to get around? No, it's an image. You know, and so this is about technology. So I wish the electric conversation, people just would quit talking to the media about buy an electric car to save yourself money. It's a bunch of baloney. It's another big lie in an agenda. So anyways, yeah, I get a little revved up every now and then. I get all that. Anyways, hope you've enjoyed my other video today that was about oil, gas, electricity. And I'm just trying to really just, I guess, vent some frustration here because it just seems like the hate of electric vehicles kind of growing more. And I'm just trying to resonate back that you're telling me that a gas car is more clean than an electric car. You know, an electric car is more clean than a gas car. I mean, that's where the whole problem begins. And here's the irony. The people that don't like electric vehicles and want the gas vehicles, including me, are really complaining a lot about having to buy gas. You have to buy expensive gas. I mean, it's kind of like you can't win, right? So anyways, thanks for watching my YouTube video. And don't take it too personally out there. Anybody's watching it. It's not a direct attack against anybody. It's just me sharing what's running through my head and weigh in on your comments. And we'll have a nice, cool car show this weekend with, hopefully we'll take the Lightning truck and that new F450 dually. So follow me along as I share more ideas and adventures.